Well, hi everyone. Hope you all are fine. I'm Irem from the Customer Success Department, and thank you for joining us today in this very special event. Today, we are going to introduce all the essential new features of the ProtaStructure Suite 2026. As you can see, we are faster than your calendars, and we succeeded to develop another new version only a few months after the release of the previous one. We have already been sharing some spoilers about this new version, but here today, you're going to get detailed information about it from two brilliant gentlemen. First, our product manager, Mr. Mustafa Tümer Tan, is going to inform you about the brand new technologies introduced to the software and the extended code support. Then our technical operations manager, Mr. Altuğ Güler, is going to present all the new features in modeling and visual interrogation tools of the ProtaStructure, the enhancements in the BIM integration, and the new features introduced in ProtaDetails 2026 and ProtaSteel 2026. Then we are going to conclude the webinar with an important announcement. Well, we do have a lot to talk about today, so let me just provide you with a brief overview of ProtaStructure Suite 2026. First of all, the new version of the ProtaStructure Suite was developed focusing on the feedback of our users. So your voice is heard. We took our notes and add your recommendations to our roadmap. As a result, the 2026 version has come with a number of new tools and new modules for the design of RC staircases, sub-basement walls and slabs, pedestals, steel base plates, and more. In addition to introducing new technologies to the ProtaStructure Suite, in the 2026 version, we put a strong emphasis on enhancing code support. Now, on top of everything you can do with this all-in-one software, you can also make performance assessments based on the American standards and Eurocode 8. Also, the Brazilian steel design codes are introduced to the ProtaStructure now. In the analysis and design, on the other hand, finite elements punching checks and significant improvements in slab mesh, including the quad elements, can be recognized among the essential new features. Well, there are a lot of new tools and capabilities introduced to the software with this version, as you can see. While developing all these things, of course, our development team didn't neglect your user experience with the software. So, what they did about it is that they applied some enhancements in modeling and visual interrogation modules of the software as well. Those include the new shortcut editor, the XF overlay in load editor, and the visualization of support reactions. Our licensed users who have been using the ProtaStructure for years know that in each version, we thrive to further enhance the BIM integration of the software so that we can support the cooperation among your project teams and your efficiency. Well, we made no exception now either. ProtaStructure Suite 2026 has come with a wide range of enhancements in BIM integration, including IFC4 support, the Singapore template for the IFC files, and the transfer of forces to Ideastatica. Last but definitely not the least, in the detailing modules of ProtaStructure Suite, a number of new features has been introduced in this new version. For example, in the industry-leading RC detailing software ProtaDetails, new slab rebar patterns, building elevation sections, and more have been provided. On the other hand, ProtaSteel 2026 has come with new macros for steel connection design and significant enhancements. Well, those were only some spoilers about the essential new features of the brand new ProtaStructure Suite 2026. Now let's dive deeper into the new version and let's start getting the detailed information about all this. Now I'm handing over the presentation to Prota Software Product Manager Mustafa Tümer Tan.
Well, thanks, Ram, for the perfect introduction. It was very nice. I want to thank you all, first of all, for attending. It has been almost a year less than a year that we released the previous version, ProtaStructure 2025. And since then, we have been working tirelessly to deliver you the new version. And it is again packed full of new features. So without losing any time, I want to just jump to the new features. We have a lot to discuss. Right, everyone, welcome again. So we are absolutely excited today to introduce something we have put a lot of dedication, and we think you are really going to like it. This is our new RC Stairs module. And actually, what's really cool about it is how it lets you interactively model reinforced concrete stairs. I mean, we are talking about really a smooth integration here, and it will directly integrate into your building model. We even included a whole library of frequently used stair types, and to make things super easy for you. Now, when it comes to loads, you can simply apply uniform area loads on the stairs, and in any load case you need. And also, the load stair module supports 3D reinforcements. You can visualize them, and all detailed drawings are based on 3D reinforcements. And here's the magic part you see on the screen. The stairs are automatically integrated with your analysis model. They come with a compatible mesh and all the right boundary conditions already set up. So it's just, it's pretty much ready to go. And here you see an L-type stair practically modeled. The area is specified by picking consecutive points on the screen. And as an alternative method, the straight stair type is inserted in an area enclosed by X boundaries. And to connect the slabs, you can apply an offset value. It doesn't have to go from one story level to another. And that's all. You can fine-tune the placement. You can even use the measure command and measure the height of the stairs, treads, etc. It's very flexible. And another type you see here, the U-shaped stair with two intermediate landings. So all you have to do is pick the points and insert the staircase on the core wall. And usually, as usual, you can apply the loading on the staircase using the load editor. On top of the self-weight, the additional load, you can insert as many loads as possible. And when you check the analysis model, you can see that the staircase is compatibly meshed with the core wall. That will help you reflect the staircase boundary conditions realistically to the design. And next up, we have been hard at work developing a comprehensive parametric macro specifically for inserting base plates under steel columns. And the best part is you can visualize them instantly in both plan and 3D views. It's pretty cool to see them just pop up into the right place. Now, we already have some great base plate features in ProtaSteel. We already have a base plate macro, but with ProtaStructure 2026, we are taking it to the next level. We are introducing a brand new base plate modeling and design macro that's completely integrated with ProtaStructure itself. This isn't just an add-on, but it's just built in the software. And it fully supports the design codes following ACI 318, AISC design guides, Euro codes, and Turkish codes. And that also includes the anchorage design in the base plates as well. And moving on, when we talk about sub-basement walls, these are typically a crucial part of the foundation. They do double duty, the sub-basement walls. They support the infill on the ground story while also containing the fill within the foundation itself. In the past, sub-basement wall modeling could be a bit cumbersome in the ProtaStructure, it often requiring workarounds like adding extra stories or using deep beams. But with ProtaStructure 2026, we made this significantly easier. You can now model these directly at the foundation level, first of all. Plus, you have the option to include them in your analysis, giving you more accurate and comprehensive results. Similarly, Sub-basement slabs are also considered as an integral part of the foundation system. These slabs are generally constructed right on top of the fill, which is of course contained by those sub-basement walls. These sub-basement slabs are typically reinforced with mesh reinforcements. Now the exciting news is that ProtaStructure 2026 enables you to model these slabs as a direct part of the foundation system as well. Not only that, but they'll also be meshed compatibly with the neighboring members, ensuring a smooth and accurate analysis. This is a significant leap forward, actually, and it was previously quite challenging to insert and mesh these slabs, and especially when they were on the foundation at different elevations. Okay. Following the next slide, we are now incredibly excited actually to tell you about a major new capability. It's the design of doubly symmetric cruciform columns. In earlier versions, you were able to model these columns in ProtaStructure, but with this version, you are able to design them. And this provides a complete compliance with a wide range of international codes, including American codes, Euro codes, BS codes, Indian and Brazilian codes as well. Let's shift our focus to another enhancement in ProtaStructure 2026, and it's a powerful new feature that really simplifies the design and analysis of concrete pedestals under steel columns. You can now seamlessly insert these pedestals, define their dimensions effortlessly, and integrate them into your structural models. Now, here's the smart bit. When you already specified a base plate under your steel column, the base plate design macro will automatically detect the presence of that pedestal. That means you get accurate anchor design and everything stays consistent with your structural requirements. Plus, the column design itself helps you design the longitudinal and the horizontal reinforcement of the pedestals. And this provides you a much smoother workflow. And for those of you using the merged foundation models or performing finite element foundation analysis, these pedestals are now cleverly modeled as finite element frame members. This ensures a very precise structural representation, which is a very big deal actually for accuracy. All right, let's dive into another really powerful feature in the new version. This one allows you to import as many user-defined acceleration spectra functions as you want. And here's the cool part. You can even assign different spectrum curves in the X, Y, and Z directions. This enhancement provides significantly greater flexibility and precision for your seismic analysis. It really empowers you to tailor your design according to the specific project requirement, because not all of the projects will require the code spectra. For some of one-off projects, you will need some site-investigated, site-studied manual spectra, and you will need to introduce them to your project. So this feature makes it much more easier to create your own library of user-defined spectra and use them in X, Y, and Z direction. And of course, that's not all. We have also streamlined and redesigned the interface and the user experience here. You're going to achieve a much smoother usage. A fantastic new ability here is that you can now compare your user-defined spectra with the code spectra right on the same chart. So you can see how they compare with each other. And you will have a clearer and better grasp on the expected structural behavior. All right, okay. Before we move on to the next set of features, I just want to quickly mention something very important. We understand that we are introducing quite a bit of technology with this version, and we want to make sure you have all the resources you need. So we have actually prepared comprehensive design guides on all of these new features we have been discussing. You can easily access them through the white paper section on our website. I really recommend you take some time to go through them when you can. They'll definitely help you get most out of these new capabilities. Okay, and let's start talking about what we have in terms of code support and design. Yeah, let's start by talking something very powerful that ProtaStructure offers here. That's a unique and robust workflow for the performance assessment and retrofit of buildings. This isn't just basic stuff, to be honest. It is backed by a whole suite of sophisticated analysis. We are talking nonlinear single-mode pushover, multi-mode pushover, and full nonlinear time history analysis. And the best part is it will come with fully detailed member-by-member assessment report. So you get all the insights you need. Now, what's really important here is that this entire arsenal of powerful features is now fully compatible with AIC and Eurocode 8 Part 3 procedures. So for American codes, we have ensured compatibility with key seismic hazard levels, such as BSE2N, BSE2E, BSE1, and so different hazard levels with different return periods. And for Eurocodes, you can fine-tune the spectrum and use different assessment methods, such as Q-factor methods and other displacement-based methods. This means you are covered for a really wide range of project requirements and regional standards. This feature will really help you whether you are dealing with performance-based design in your new projects or whether you are dealing with assessment and retrofits of your existing building stock. So in short, to emphasize it again, ProtaStructure 2026 now supports performance-based design and assessment according to American codes and Eurocodes Part 3. And on the topic of local code compliance, in ProtaStructure 2026, we have now included support for both NBR loading codes and NBR steel design codes. NBR meaning the Brazilian loading code and Brazilian steel design codes. This is in fact a significant enhancement, especially for our users working on projects in Brazil. We will follow this with reinforced concrete design support. But for this version, we are supporting Brazilian loading and steel design codes. And here, maybe I can say the highlight of the presentation for Eurocode users. It's a really powerful new tool in ProtaStructure, new ProtaStructure. That will be incredibly useful for Eurocode users. And we are introducing a nationally dependent parameters editor. So that means whether it doesn't matter where you are practicing around Europe, even if ProtaStructure does not directly support your country's Eurocode implementation, you can now use our NDP editor to enter your custom parameters to Suite to adjust your design according to your national annex. This will allow you to seamlessly customize the Eurocode parameters to perfectly align with your specific national standards. We think this will make a huge difference in streamlining your Eurocode's compliant design. And finally, something really important for seismic design. The new version now includes more comprehensive support for seismic design checks for both steel and concrete building. This is fully aligned with Eurocode 8 provisions. And in this version, we specifically focused on Eurocode 8 implementation because we already did have the American and Indian implementations, other country implementations, but we had some missing stuff in the Eurocode 8 implementations. And now with the new version, we have completed this missing stuff, especially according to the seismic requirements. So now ProtaStructure is much more aligned with Eurocode 8 provisions when it comes to design checks. And also this is backed up by step-by-step detailed reports. So you can really see exactly how everything is being checked. All right, okay. Again, on Eurocode, as you see, I can say that we have worked, we have put a lot of time for Eurocode support in this version. There is a significant investments of efforts in terms of Eurocodes, and that's also applicable for the torsional checks, torsional irregularity check. ProtaStructure, as you know, has already provided a unique workflow for this, specifically using the relative drift method. We can check the torsional irregularities and other irregularities using the relative drift method. This has been, in fact, incredibly effective, even for the complex floor plans and structural systems, where honestly the Eurocode torsional radius approach might not be even valid, because as the floor plans start to get complicated, the torsional radius approach starts to deviate from practicality and accuracy. Even Eurocode itself admits this. Now, with ProtaStructure 2026, we have actually introduced the torsional radius approach as an optional feature. This means that you can now choose to perform floor torsion check precisely according to the procedure outlined in Eurocode 8 and the other relevant design guides. This will give you more flexibility, and you will have more options depending on the project's requirements. Okay, let's discuss another crucial aspects of seismic design within Eurocode 8. As you may noticed, we are still going on Eurocode. It's the prevailing failure mode factor, known as KW. And this factor plays a really important role because it's used to adjust the behavior factor, Q. You will know that the Q factor essentially represents the reduction in seismic forces due to nonlinear behavior of structures. And the KW factor specifically reflects the prevailing failure mode in wall equivalents or torsionally flexible structural systems. And what it really does is to account for how type of failure mode influences the structure's energy dissipation capacity. For instance, the structures that exhibit more ductile failure modes can actually dissipate more energy during a seismic event, and this in turn will lead to higher KW values. This adjustment is vital because it ensures that your design actually reflects the expected performance. So the calculation of this prevailing failure mode factor, by the way, is given by equations 5.2 and 5.3 within the Eurocode 8. So this is now automatically calculated, and of course you can customize this value. Another really important improvement you'll find in the new version is the use of bending moment and shear force design envelopes, specifically for shear walls. This is again for Eurocode, and to ensure the ductile shear wall behavior, which are, by the way, has a height to length ratio greater than 2. They tend to remain elastic above the base hinge. Especially considering the uncertainties in the structure's dynamic behavior, design bending moments and shear forces obtained from your analysis are actually magnified. So here's the great part. ProtaStructure will now automatically calculate the tension shift and apply this bending moment and shear force envelopes according to the exact procedure outlined in Eurocode 8. And this automation really streamlines the critical part of the design process. This part of the design is usually done manually by the engineers. Most of the software on the market do not really consider this envelope design approach. Anyway, something else that we have substantially improved in this version is the vertical earthquake spectrum, elastic and design spectrum. This was in fact introduced in the earlier version, ProtaStructure 2025. You may ask, what's the improvement here then? So the improvement, enhancement here is that you can now customize all the relevant parameters. In the previous version, the vertical spectrum, according to Eurocode, was automatically calculated, but you had limited ability to control it. But now you can customize all the relevant parameters, things like vertical behavior factor, vertical acceleration, the soil factor, characteristic periods, and these are all independent from the horizontal spectrum. You can just customize it as you want. So this will allow you to adapt your design to the specific national requirements again, because different countries in Europe can adapt different vertical spectrum. All right. We have also added a valuable new capability for optimizing your dual structural systems. Again, Eurocode. You can now easily review the total shear contribution of both frames and shear walls within your projects. So this is really useful because it allows you to optimize your design by considering the shear force that are resisted by the walls and resisted by the frames. So you can easily compare the amounts, and you can decide whether you can design your system as a dual system or frame equivalent system. It will give you a clearer picture of how forces are being distributed. Okay, RC deflection checks. Of course, they have been always a part of ProtaStructure. But with ProtaStructure 2026, the new version, we have introduced a significant enhancements for Eurocode 2 because we were able to perform these detailed deflection checks according to American codes and Indian codes and other codes as well, using American code derivatives and similars. But Eurocode implementation was a bit detailed, so now we support it. And in the deflection checks, according to Eurocode 2, now will support effects of creep and shrinkage directly in the deflection calculations. You can do this by defining time-dependent material properties in the material editor. You can choose one of the time models, whether it can be the Eurocode time model or the FIB90 model time model code time model. Of course, this will allow you to accurately represent the long-term behavior. Okay, so this is again something related with Eurocode 2. We are also quite excited to announce here that we have developed castellated beam design capabilities fully compliant with Eurocode 3. As you may remember, the castellated beams were already introduced by the earlier version, but the design was missing for Eurocode 3. Now we have completed the design, and you can now utilize the Eurocode design for castellated beams. And also, the ProtaStructure will provide you a step-by-step detailed report. Wow, it doesn't finish. Beyond just long-term deflection, we have also significantly expanded our crack width check capabilities. You can now perform these crack width checks according to a wide range of international guidelines, including Eurocodes, ACI, Indian codes, Colombian codes, Philippines, Peru, and Indonesia. This gives you much broader compliance and flexibility, of course. And we have also added a specific new check that will be very beneficial for our users working with Indian standards. Actually, this was already introduced for ACI code before, but with the new version, in Indian codes clause 34.4, it verifies the load transfer from loaded column to the footing. This can be considered crucial for ensuring the integrity of the foundation. Okay, specific check. Let's also highlight important updates concerning foundation tie beams. These beams, as you know, can be defined in ProtaStructure to provide a crucial horizontal connection between columns at the foundation level. They are, in fact, key for preventing lateral movement and relative displacement, especially when you are dealing with pad footing. And here is the news. With ProtaStructure 2026, you can now design this foundation tie beams according to ACI 318. Okay, and I'm approaching to the end of my presentation. I will hand over to Altuğ, but what about the enhancements in analysis and analysis model creation? So let's start with punching shear checks. With new version, you now have the ability to perform the punching checks directly using the finite element results, specifically leveraging the out-of-plane shear stress values. What's really smart about this is that ProtaStructure will automatically collect the most critical shear stress values around the punching perimeters, and then it will compare this directly with the punching capacity. These checks are thoroughly done according to both ACI and Indian standards, ensuring comprehensive code compliance. By the way, we are not doing this for Eurocode and BS at the moment. Eurocode and BS are still using the analytical approach. We have also added some important flexibility to help you strike that perfect balance between automation and control. So with the new version, we now support user-defined entries for accidental eccentricity and seismic overturning safety factors. This enhancement will directly empower you to tailor your design with greater precision to your local requirements, and it will give you an extra layer of control. All right. Here is a really flexible new feature in ProtaStructure 2026. You can now designate any story as an intermediate story. So what's the importance of this? Intermediate stories can be quite diverse in practice. They could be partial installations between two main stories, perhaps specific structural members, or even internal setbacks used for various purposes in a building. If these elements are defined on what would typically be a standard story, ProtaStructure now allows you to explicitly designate that story as an intermediate story. The key benefit here is that it will then be the intermediate story will be excluded from the irregularity check, which is often what you want for this type of levels. Crucially, though, the system will still consider its full stiffness, mass, and load in the overall building analysis. They will not get lost, but you will get accurate results without unwanted irregularity flags. This, of course, provides you a flexibility again while you are dealing with complex architectural and structural layouts. Okay, and here is another really significant enhancement for your finite element analysis in ProtaStructure. You can now model and mesh multiple slabs positioned on top of each other within the same story. So this is a long sentence. Okay, this improvement is genuinely about allowing you to address much more complex structural configurations. In earlier versions, only one slab in the same story was typically included in the mesh, which could limit the accuracy of your analysis for intricate design. Now you have that full flexibility for the complex, again, architectural and structural layout. You can model the slabs positioned on top of each other within the same story. And we've got another notable update to our meshing capabilities. We are now introducing the quadrilateral shell elements for slabs. The great thing is that the mesh density for these are automatically adjusted by ProtaStructure, taking into account the minimum mesh size you specify. And from now on, the default shell element type in ProtaStructure will actually be the quad members. However, or smart meshing algorithm will automatically revert to triangular elements whenever the geometry of your structure truly demands it. In those cases, you will see a clever mix of triangular and quadrilateral elements used to ensure optimal meshing. As you know, we are continuously improving our seismic analysis and design capabilities because there is no end to it. The engineer's requirement to design requirements against the seismic loads is quite challenging, and ProtaStructure does a very good job, according to my opinion, and we are continually improving this in each version. So now we are bringing a new option. That's the shear wall stiffness modifiers applied only in critical stories. So as you know, ProtaStructure allows you to use the cracked section properties for the seismic analysis. But specifically for the walls in this version, you can now allow ProtaStructure to use the cracked section properties only in the critical stories. That is a detailed but very effective option for the seismic design. We have taken another pretty significant step in the new version when it comes to load calculation and combination capabilities. We know ProtaStructure already supports the calculation of dynamic soil thrust and snow drift loads. However, in previous versions, you typically needed to manually create the user-defined load case and actually assign these specific loads. With this latest version, the difference is ProtaStructure now can automatically generate the soil dynamic load cases and the snow drift load cases. And these load cases are seamlessly integrated in the combination group with the appropriate factors, and they are automatically included in the analysis. But we have to note that while the load cases are created automatically now, you will still need to manually assign the calculated loads to these automatically generated cases. All right, another significant refinement to our finite element modeling, particularly for flat slabs and raft foundations. ProtaStructure has a well-established feature that automatically crops the column outlines from the finite element slab mesh. This is super important because it leads to more realistic and economical designs by eliminating those unrealistic peak stress values that can occur when a column connects to a slab at just a single point. And now in new version, we introduced a brand new feature, automated body constraints. This enhancement automatically defines constraints between column joints and adjacent slab mesh points. What this does is it more accurately simulates the actual effects on the column section on the slab mesh. The body constraints ensure that the joints on the top plane move truly as a rigid body, offering a much more precise mathematical simulation. This really addresses some of the relative rigidity limitations we saw in the past with the previous rigid link approach. And the final item on my list, Altuğ is looking at me. We've also made a small but very convenient improvements when working with ground motion records and accelerograms. As you know, ProtaStructure allows you to input any accelerogram manually, and traditionally these needed to be in gravitational acceleration units. However, we understand that the accelerograms that you download often come in different units, maybe meter per second square or centimeters per second square, or even feet per second square instead of G. So to make your life easier, you can now simply select the input unit directly while introducing the ground motion into ProtaStructure. The system will then automatically convert that accelerogram to G units for you. That means no more manual conversions needed. Okay, wow. This was quite a journey. I know we've covered a lot of ground today, and honestly, the new features in ProtaStructure aren't even limited to what I have just represented here in 40 slides. There is even more to explore. Thank you all for so much for listening to me and for your attention. And without further ado, I'd like to hand things over to Altuğ, who will walk you through even more of the enhancements in the new version. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mustafa. You have covered a lot of ground in this compact but comprehensive presentation. Well, I'm very excited today. All the hard work that we have put into this version is finally being delivered to our users, and the release webinars are always a moment of joy for us in that sense, right? Okay, let's start. As engineers, we love shortcuts, right? We need to admit that some of the useful shortcuts were hidden and they were not customizable in the previous versions, so they were easily forgotten. We have developed the new shortcut editor where you can review all program shortcuts and assign new key bindings. You just right-click menus, dynamically show these shortcut key combinations wherever applies. That was a frequently asked feature indeed. We have disabled floating a document by simply clicking and dragging, as this has been complained by the users a lot. Sometimes they accidentally make the documents floated during the modeling. Instead of click and drag, we have now added a dedicated button for this purpose. You can also use the new Close Other Tabs button to close all the other tabs other than the selected at once. We have introduced a master setting for rotation-prevented footings as well, so that you won't need to set this option for each pad footing separately. This is also available in the batch design user interface, so you can update the footings quickly. Well, ProtaStructure 2026 introduces a transformative feature that elevates the load definition process. This is the ability to overlay architectural DXF drawings on the interactive load editor. With this enhancement, users can seamlessly reference architectural plans while defining loads, ensuring alignment with the design intent. Additionally, the capability to snap directly to points within the DXF drawing enables precise load placement, enhancing accuracy and reducing potential errors. The DXF drawing is meticulously positioned at the exact coordinates specified in the main modeling screen. This ensures consistency and coherence between the structural model and the architectural layout. This feature streamlines the workflows, also leads to a better precision and efficiency in load definitions. ProtaStructure now features the ability to display support reactions with vector graphics under the supported members. This highly requested feature is now available, and it enhances the visualization and analysis capabilities for users. Again, to improve clarity in contour presentation of shell stresses, displacements, and forces, we can now display the contour labels on the contour lines in Analysis Post-Processor. You can turn on the contour label display using the Contours Display Values on Lines option on the ribbon bar. A new placement option for FE contours is also introduced in this version. The legend can be placed horizontally at the bottom of the screen to preserve more space and to provide better representation. The new placement can be adjusted using the position option under Contours ribbon page. With every new version, we strive to develop more efficiency and intuition into ProtaStructure. The frame members entity is now removed from the material library. Instead, the material system will make use of the frame member types to identify the default materials. In addition to this, default materials for welds, bolts, and plates are added for base plate design, obviously. Another enhancement in the material library is that rebar materials can now be set to a different material, even though the concrete material is still default. Another update to the libraries is here. Rookie metal deck types are now available in metal deck library when Poland template is selected. We have also extended the cold formed profile catalog. It now supports face-to-face and back-to-back C-shaped sections as well. Well, ProtaStructure is famous for interactive and automated design of reinforced concrete, steel, and composite members. That's composite metal decks. As a result of the design, each member will have governing design utilization ratios. ProtaStructure has a very powerful visual interrogation feature, as you know. You can color code the utilization ratios based on their severity levels. But previously, only steel members were color coded. With the latest version, reinforced concrete members are included as well. We made it easier to manage the different loads in your designs. With our latest update, you can now assign unique colors to various load categories. This helps you quickly tell them apart. You can also color code individual loads for extra clarity. If a load is deleted or updated, its color will reset automatically to the default, which keeps your model consistent. This visual organization will help you work faster, help you reduce errors, and improve your overall design accuracy. Now, ProtaStructure automatically adds the number of studs and camber information to your composite frame labels, of course, if you select the option. It's also displayed on your ProtaDetails floor plans, so all the critical information you need is exactly where you need it and when you need it. You can now interrogate the analytical model by physical member labels, so you can pinpoint the analytical representation of a physical member easily and quickly. Previously, the analytical post-processor used to display analytical material and section IDs, and this information had less practical use. We know this. And with this version, the labels are appended with physical material and section names for easier review. Let's continue with advanced BIM integration. IFC4, as you know, Industrial Foundation Classes version 4, plays a crucial role in the construction industry by enhancing data interoperability and standardization. It addresses many limitations of its predecessor, IFC2X3, as it supports more complex geometries like B-SP line, splines, spline surfaces, and curves. Curve support particularly improves the performance of models with curved elements. Overall, IFC4 promotes a more seamless exchange of information across different software platforms. At Prota Software, we are dedicated to integrating the latest BIM support, as we always claim, including IFC4 into our solutions. Our commitment ensures that our users benefit from seamless information exchange, improved collaboration, and increased efficiency in their construction projects. As you know, we introduced the IDEA Static Export feature in our previous version, which received great feedback from our users. So in this version, we have enhanced it further by allowing users to export the internal forces, acting on the connections to IDEA Static in a tabular format. We're going to talk about this later in the ProtaSteel section as well. ProtaSteel already provides a detailed material list and quantity takeoff using the fully connected and non-clashing fabrication model. However, our users also requested steel material lists to be extracted from ProtaStructure models. This is now possible with ProtaStructure 2026. ProtaStructure 2026 also introduces an improved analysis result filtering and post-processing feature. Now, analysis results of all modeling members, including macro members like domes, space trusses, composite slabs, frame groups, and even staircases, can be generated now. You can even extract the maximum forces among combinations and obtain amplified results due to seismic analysis and results with live load reduction. This enhancement streamlines the workflow and allows more precise and targeted evaluations. Please also note that this option filters the distinct results. If the maximum axial and shear results come from the same combination, then this combination is displayed only once, saving you time and space. If you need high-resolution images from your ProtaStructure model, a handy feature is the ability to export poster-quality images, thanks to the vector graphics engine of ProtaStructure. With the latest version, you can now automatically remove the background while exporting, so that you can make your graphics designers' life a lot easier now. So let's check out what's up with ProtaDetails. With ProtaStructure 2026, sections can be generated from the entire building. This helps you better visualize your building model's section cut view in its entirety. It works similar to the good old section command in ProtaDetails. That is, you need to have a floor plan drawn on the arena already, of course. This can be any story you pick. When you select the building section command and show the cut line, you will immediately get the entire building section. The building section includes all the elements from slabs to reinforced concrete stairs. All the foundation elements are included as well. And you can even visualize the slab and beam infill loads as physical infill loads, wall objects with hatches and everything. And of course, all the rest of the settings work for building section as well. Well, ProtaStructure already supports a symmetrical bent-up rebar pattern for slab detailing. In this new version, asymmetrical bent-up bars can be used in slabs. Additionally, new straight bar pattern enables users to use top reinforcements in span region. Foundation beams, rib beams, and slab rebars are now neatly presented in a tabular format as well, just like story beams, similar to story beams. This makes it easy to review the design and selected reinforcement information at a glance. Again, as Mustafa mentioned, we have now sub-basement specific exclusive sub-basement wall support, and of course there is a reflection in the ProtaDetails as well. You can generate sub-basement wall details using shear wall elevations and shear wall schedules or column application commands in ProtaDetails. Foundation story was added to these categories to draw the sub-basement wall details. Well, after you have designed pedestals in ProtaStructure, you can push them down to ProtaDetails for reinforced concrete detailing, just like other reinforced concrete members. You can use the column elevations and column application details for generating the pedestal details. The foundation story is added to these categories for this purpose. You can use ProtaSteel to obtain the anchor detail drawings of pedestals with steel base plates defined on top of them. And ProtaSteel enhancements. Let's continue with them. All the ProtaSteel provides detailed design reports on mostly used connections, analyzing complicated or user-defined steel connections with component-based finite element analysis may be inevitable in your project. In Prota, we believe in open collaboration and create links between our products and industry-leading software. Our last addition was the Idea Statica FEA links. You can export your automatic or user-defined connections to Idea Statica and carry on if you need to. All you have to do is to initiate Idea Statica checkbot in ProtaSteel and select the primary members and connection components by following the instructions on the In the previous version, we introduced this Idea Statica export feature, which received great feedback from our users. And in this version, we have enhanced it further by allowing users to export the internal forces acting on the connections to Idea Statica in a tabular format. An Excel file is automatically generated. The internal forces required for the connection FE analysis is listed here for each relevant load combination. And these internal forces are the post-process results according to the selected design and seismic codes, of course. just simply copy them and paste them in IDEA Statica. The connection of purlins on curved beams can now be easily made with the purlin connection macro. Purlin connection macro supports different connection types. IntelliConnect tools can also be used to create connections more quickly. With ProtaSteel 2026, we introduce end plate splice macro for the splice connection details of pipe and rectangular section profiles. What makes this feature powerful is the level of control it provides, just like the other macros. Within the macro properties window, you can easily adjust the number of bolts and their specific arrangement by utilizing the circular section settings option. This streamlines the process for designing these crucial connections, ensuring precision and flexibility in your steel structures. The fin plate macro that is used to create beam to column and beam to beam hinged connections now supports main profiles made of hollow sections, which include square hollow sections and rectangular hollow sections. Number of supported profile types are extended with this version. In ProtaSteel 2026, truss to truss and truss to column connections are supported by beam to beam and beam to column connections, such as beam to column end plate, stiffener end plate, fin plate, beam to beam angle cleat, beam to beam end plate. These connections can be applied on the strong and weak directions of the main members now. Here we have a very useful enhancement again. You can now handle more cases with curved beams, including a wider range of approach angles and purlin connections with the curved members. ProtaSteel V2026 comes with IFC4 support along with ProtaStructure 2026, as I have mentioned before. All the detailing objects and the entire model created in ProtaSteel can be exported in IFC file. Thus, you can be involved in project development processes with globally accepted IFC files. And I think I have forgotten to mention the IFC for SG support. Maybe you have covered a little bit, Mustafa, but we need to stress that as well. There are some sections, so-called property sets, that are specifically designed for specific use cases. And currently, we have provided with this version, we have provided these property sets that are required by Singapore. So we have a dedicated format called IFC for SG for our users who are working, creating projects and models for Singapore. So that's a big feature actually as well. So, thank you very much for your attention. We have covered a lot of content today. We know that this quick glimpse of the new features is not enough for you to process them. So we will be releasing videos and podcasts to help you dive deeper into them. Thank you very much again. Now I will leave the stage to İrem for her final comments. And cheers. Take care.
Well, thank you, Mr. Güler, and thank you, Mr. Tan, for these beautiful, insightful presentations. I guess we can call this webinar a detailed summary of the ProtaStructure Suite 2026. Well, of course, releasing a new version is not the end of the development process. We are going to keep listening to the feedback of our users and checking their support tickets to make the software even better. Just as we did with our previous versions. You might already know that but we constantly apply general stability and performance improvements, and we share them with you through software updates. We also let you know about these improvements in detail. We present them in release notes documents. Those are the resource for you to see which issues were addressed in each new update. The release notes are available on our Prota Help Center platform. Well, it's a special platform actually, because in Prota Help Center, we have a wide range of e-learning materials. A forum page reserved for only our licensed users where they can interact with each other or communicate with our team, and a ticketing system for our technical support team. Well, as you know, getting a ProtaStructure license is not just purchasing a software to install, it's simply more than that. You can get free and automatic software updates, free technical support service, and various advantages with a yearly maintenance plan subscription. But don't worry, for the e-learning materials, you have other options as well. We have a YouTube channel which has over 680 videos now. On this ProtaStructure YouTube channel, you can find a wide range of tutorial videos and all our webinar recordings. And not just on YouTube, but on other social media platforms, you can follow us to get a little tips and tricks about the ProtaStructure and to be the first one to know about all our webinars, other events, and campaigns. You can always reach out to us for asking your technical questions or to get information about purchasing a license. Here are our website and email addresses. So please feel free to contact us. So thanks again for being a part of this amazing webinar where we explored all the essential new features of ProtaStructure Suite 2026 with the guidance of Prota Software managers. I believe we can end the webinar now, right?
Yes, thank you very much, Rem.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for your attention. So see you next time soon.
Okay, thank you for joining us today. Hope you all have a nice day then.